Number 1 for the Lion Red Kiwis, Richard Barnett, his first test at fullback. Number 2 on the wing, Sean Hoppy, 13 tries in 24 tests. At 3, the tough tackling centre, Ruben Wiki. Alongside him at 4, former All Black John Timu, who's now played 7 tests. Back on the wing, super boot Daryl Halligan. The playmaker at number 6, Gene Namu, 11 tries in 17 tests. And at 7, the running game of the game breaker, Stacey Jones. Leading the charge of the prop brigade, Big Grant Young. The deceptive dummy half, Hooker Sidaru, 11 tests in 2 years. At 10, the West Coast workhorse, back from suspension, Quentin Pongia. In the second row, number 11, Tony Iro, hampered by a hamstring strain. Number 12, Captain Stephen Kearney, 19 tests in only 4 years, a strapping second row with a great step. And back in black, Tawara Nikau, 4 tries in 18 tests and scored in the last Kiwi win over the Aussies in 91. Into the game from the interchange, Joe Vagana, 15 Tyron Smith, 16 Tia Ropati, who played for Western Samoa at the World Cup, and the new Kiwi, 17 Robbie Paul. At fullback for the Super League Aussies, the New South Wales Shark, David Peachy. On the wing, Canberra's Ken Nagus on debut. In the centre, the Super Shark, E.T., 25 tests. The goal-kicking Panther, Ryan Girdler at 4. Wendell Saylor wings his way into number 5 for his second test. Leading the Aussie from 5'8", Laurie Daly. Also playing test number 20, halfback Alan Langer. And just one behind, the big man up front, Glenn Lazarus. 18-year-old Panther Craig Garr debuts at hooker, as does the Perth prop Rodney Howe at 10, and Kiwi-born Bronco Brad Thorne in the second row. Number 12, David Ferner, lines up for his second test. And after 8 Origin games, Queensland's Darren Smith gets his chance for his country. Into the game from the interchange, the rookie bench. 14, Paul Green. 15, Julian O'Neill. 16, Matt Adamson. And 17, Auckland-born but Aussie-reared Solomon Halmono.
Let's just warm things up a little on this cool night in Sydney. Now Daly starts to fire up and relax. It's the Aussies and the Kiwis. Rugby League headquarters in Sydney. Stuart Cummings, the man to control this. And about to get us underway. Fast and furious for sure. Pongia straight into them, just inside his own 20. Grant Young, he's got to make his impact on the likes of Lazarus and Howe. Nikau, it's going to be wide and wide if you want to call them brothers with Iro and Kearney. That back row should be the danger. Young once more. Last tackle as they set themselves. Pressure on the kick. Namu off the side of the boot. It was good chasing out of the marker area. First error, if you like, of the night.
Yeah, great pressure from Australia shown straight away. Gene Namu not able to get that kick away. Really good pressure. Has put the Kiwis under the hammer straight away.
Brad Thorne, born in Dunedin, stayed there for 9 years now in the green and gold. Lazarus. First 90 seconds, they get an opportunity to go inside the Kiwis 20. There's a fumble, strong defence. Langer just tries to settle Ferner down, gives him a pat on the back.
Well, this is a good start from the New Zealand defence. They made a mistake earlier on with the ball. Good solid defence there has forced the error. Relieves the pressure for the Kiwis.
Iro with that hamstring concern, heavily strapped. Halligan from his wing. Had a great game for the Bulldogs against the Warriors. Then that call up to the side. Crashing tackle over the top from Thorne. made it known during the week that his targets were the Kiwi back rowers.
Stand away, stand clear.
Kearney. For the last month, this man has been playing with a broken bone in his hand. Scrappy play of the ball. He'll get the penalty. Ferner was all over him in the play of the ball.
And I think it is going to be interesting to see what the interpretations of this British referee are out there tonight, because they're bound to be slightly different to what both sides are used to.
Young on the burst. Bounced out of the tackle.
Come on, make the 10.
Jones to send it wide. Kearney stepping back on the inside. Just had a quick look for support. Nikau charging onto it. Langer up smartly. Jones and Namu. Iro out amongst the centres. Great defence down low. Darren Smith it was. And punishing defence up the middle, and Young coughs it up. Bit of moisture around, ball might be just a little bit greasy. With Huey McGann, you get a chance with all this emotion in the build-up to this one sideline. How do you see it?
Well, I've got to go to the Kiwis. There's no question about that. I've got a question mark on that turnover from Grant Young just then. 2 men in the tackle. That should have been a penalty, regardless of what anyone else would think.
That's what I was saying, Huey. That's the British interpretation, probably. That's where there will be problems for both sides.
I agree with you. I've got concerns over the referee standings too.
40 metres out. And the big concern at the moment is for Australia going back on attack. Langer calling for it. Last tackle. Well taken by Barnett. Clean set of 6. As Hoppy gets flattened in the tackle. The Australians are just flying in. Now it's Grant Young. Tongia. Namu getting the kick in, trying to get it away from Peachy. This could be a problem. You can't give him much room.
You can't give him much room at all, but I noticed him at training last night, doing the kick through, nominating his name all the time. They're going to call him out and make sure that chases up to scratch. I think that they're well prepared for his great runs.
The Australians turning it around quickly again through Saylor. Howe wrestling with them, trying to produce the quick play of the ball. Now Brad Thorne. Oh, great defence. Tongia and Kearney destroyed him. Langer waiting this one up, just holding it up for Ferner. Langer smartly. Daly under pressure. Showed his experience in taking the tackle and trying to send Eddinghausen away. They go down to the last. Daly once more, looking for some more heat. Barnett, plenty of time. He got good cover too from Stacey Jones. What a great return.
Well, I think New Zealand's going to be able to come up with the same sort of returns as Peachy's got. He's a real quick player, big and strong. And as silly as it sounds, we probably might even be that little bit stronger at the back with Peachy rather than Matthew Ridge. Matthew Ridge is the greatest fullback, but Peachy for this match I think is well suited. Particularly when you've got Halligan on the wing able to come up with kicking is good.
Barnett.
Sorry, I mean, mate.
Now it comes out for Timu to try and get to the outside. Frantic paces, they both try and push this ball around. Namu! Back it comes to Halligan.
Get out, Wendell, come on!
Jones, Nikau. Popping it up for Jones once more as they keep it alive. Half a chance. Halligan still to the outside. He had Timu, couldn't get it to him. Jones looking to the other wing. Falling for Peachy. He'll bring it back to the 20.
Well, Graham, that was a great passage of play there. Everything that was required in a game of rugby league was put on by the Kiwis there. Great passage of play.
Okay, fellas.
Cummings is going to call it back and ask them to have it all over again.
Wait.
This was a good hit. Good, great kick there on the Gatorade replay.
All right, that's one.
Had plenty of pressure behind it, but not quite good enough. They were able to start without a 20-metre tap.
35 out from their own line as they look to Furner.
That's three. Take it.
Thorne.
Four. Move. Hey, make the 10, lads. Make the 10.
From dummy half go the Australians. This man might be just a young man who could steal the show from everybody tonight. Craig Gower. Langer. Trying to chip it into some space. It'll just stay inside the line. Well, Huey, both these sides flying at each other in defence.
Well, everything's at 100 miles an hour at this stage, and it's whoever can maintain that throughout this game, I think will come up winners. There's no question at all. But one thing New Zealand must do is they must put pressure on this young Gower. It's his debut game, big game for him, but they've got to put a lot of pressure on him, and as I said earlier, they've got to really intimidate him.
Wurns of battle early here
Hey, fellas, let's get the
as
foot on the ball.
Pongia goes to the bench in the blood bin.
Foot on the ball. Okay, fellas, let's get your foot on the ball when you're playing it. Let's clean it up a bit.
Big Joe will come out.
Right, if you stand clear, then there's no doubt.
The point that I was trying to make before, Graham, and I got carried away with the excitement of the whole exercise, Richie Barnett at fullback, I think gives New Zealand a great option. And I don't think we've lost anything at all by losing Matthew Ridge, because with Halligan on the wing, we've got a goal kicker just as equal.
Well, he's in the final as far as one of the world's best is concerned. Now, Vaiana looking for a touch. He was down in jumper number 14. They've got him out there in 19. Young stepping up the middle, making it to the 40.
Well, he's earning his money out there tonight, Grant Young. He's been involved in so many hit-ups already, and he's proving a handful because he takes 2 or 3 to stop him.
Come on, make it to me.
Nikia. Back for Jones. Both sides trying to settle into some sort of a pattern. This one will go right into the post and back to the 20.
Right, wait for the whistle.
He only had a couple of inches in that from being a perfectly weighted kick, but plenty of pressure being applied from the New Zealand side on the Australians here. The onus is on them now to try and get some field position. They're under a little bit of pressure at the moment.
That's one out of there.
Everybody's looking for a mistake at the other end. Howe with a strong run up the short side. Pongia still in the pitch, waiting to get back in. As Thorne drags 3 up the middle. Langer. Back inside they go. Daly. To the outside. Good. A great ball up for Nagus. And he's shut down by Barnett, who shortened up the angle from fullback. Stretched as they go wide. Australia with numbers. Daly. The head start. Eddinghausen. Now there was a hand in there. Eddinghausen looked up at Cummings. It looked as though it was Halligan that was just trying to pull him back on the Gatorade replay.
Yeah, we can see no doubt whatsoever. Halligan did hold Eddinghausen back here. Darryl, it's lucky he's not in the sin bin now. That's what it deserved, but he's got away with it.
Saylor was screaming for the penalty. Don't think Eddinghausen could have got there, but that's not the point.
I think he may have got there.
Vaiana. It is all Australia as far as territory is concerned.
Big Tony Iro having his first charge with the ball that previous ruck.
Langer climbed a little bit high, just a warning.
You got over the shoulder.
So the Kiwis with a great opportunity to go down deep.
Here we go.
It's a problem for any man, any size, when you cop one round the throat.
That's right, second 10.
Pongia still waits and bides his time. Vaiana. 12 metres out the Kiwis. Kearney. Langer with more defence. Eru. Back for Namu to switch it.
Leave him alone. No, you leave him alone. You played the ball, you pulled him
Now
back.
they had a set piece all planned. Endicott unhappy with the fact that Kearney has been pinched by the referee for interfering in the play of the ball.
Well, Frank had that planned all right, but what he didn't have planned was the interference at the play of the ball here from Steve Kearney. Not a lot in it, but the referee picked it up. It was a good planned piece as well.
So those plans upset, but just for the moment, as Howe strongly takes it through the line.
Make it, make it.
Thorne.
Make it.
Ferner in some bother in back play with the trainers as Lazarus.
Three, out of that, out of that.
Gets over that advantage line, seemed to just nearly lose that in the play of the ball. Daly forced back up the middle. Gower with a great step. Bench starting to warm up for the Australians. Smith. Strong defence from both sides. Langer. Bunganar tried to pick it up. They've got 6 more. Langer nearly away. Here's problems. Great defence from the marker area from Barnett to shut it down. Howe in front of the Kiwis posts. Inside the 10 as Langer calls for a quick switch. Ferner's recovered, nearly got away. Peachy up in the line, out towards the sideline. Scrambling defence. Terrible play of the ball. Will put a smile on his dial.
Well, that was a great passage of defence in from the Kiwis. Showed spirit, because normally in recent tests the Australians would have scored. This was a shocking play of the ball. Gene Namu alert. A great bonus.
Australians questioning about picking the ball up in the play of the ball. I had no problems with that because Peachy just made a horrible mess of it. Namu. Quickly they come back. Ridge wishing that he was there as Nikau gets over into some Australian territory. One more tackle remaining. Namu with a mile of time to pick his mark. In behind Nagus. Fine kick to that corner pocket area. Wiki down there quickly to chase and pounce on a Canberra teammate. Peachy.
Well, that was a great chase from Wiki, but maybe he should have had another New Zealander up alongside him. Couldn't have actually on two or 3 metres out from the goal line. I think they let Australia off the hook there a bit.
Back they come. Big arm wrestle amongst the forwards so far as they try to get into stride. Good ball back for Gower. Heavy tackle from Young. Right under the ribs of Gower, I should say. Langer with a good ball up. Eddinghausen out for Langer. And Daly. Lazarus motoring up the middle. Goes down under a real black and white wave. Last tackle for Langer again to get in behind the line. This will be to the end goal, and a worry for Halligan. Just.
He's done well, the dog there. He's done a great job.
Really had to put the foot on the accelerator, find a little bit of speed that maybe even he didn't think he had. Frantic pace. Kearney. Kearney with a terrific run to lead from the front. Wiki to take it out to the 30. Eru. Nikau. Great to see him back in a test team. Eru. Joe Bunganar back to the bench as Jones continues to wait it out towards this wing of Ken Nagus.
Well, another good passage of play from New Zealand. At this stage, I'd say Australia's probably got a little bit of the advantage through Langer's kicking game, which has been outstanding. These are long-range kicks just for touch, but Langer's kicks have been to the end goal and really putting the Kiwis under a little bit of pressure there, but they are handling it.
Both teams trying to soak this one up, Huey. A bit of a break for them after this pace from the start.
And that's a good sign there by Grant Young. That's how everyone is feeling at the moment. The pinch is really getting to them. And just on that kick before, if they hadn't have gone out, there wouldn't have been a very, very good chase. What's concerning me at the moment also is New Zealand are letting Australia up too quickly in these play the balls. Let's test the referee.
Bend the rules, you suggest, Huey?
I didn't say that.
I'll say it for you. Rodney Howe. Lazarus is very wide. They hold him. He stands with plenty of time. Nearly argue that he might have been tackled. Peachy does not get away from Wiki. Thorne pushes it back. Daly likewise for Langer. And also for Howe. Tongi chases him across. Lends a hand to Iro. Gower. He will find the sideline.
Well, that was a good passage of play from New Zealand there in defence, because really they didn't allow Australia to gain any field position, forced them to kick for touch, slow the game down a little bit. New Zealand will have the feed now, and really we'll see what they can do over the next 6 tackles. The game is delicately poised at the moment. Frank's on the edge of his seat, doesn't know whether to chew his pen or write something down.
Interested to know how much ink he's already used up. New Zealand having to come up with all those tackles in defence in their own half. Big chant up around this stadium, coming alive. Crowd, I guess, something similar to the Tri-Series opener here, around 20, 25,000. Timu has not received much clean ball out wide and opportunities for Canterbury this year. Looking forward to it tonight. Nikau. Not just his strong running and his size that's a problem. Out wide and pop up anywhere with tremendous pace. Off the head of Daly, didn't play at it. It will remain with an Australian feed as Tia Rapati thinks about his time out there. And I think it's a pretty good Kiwi bench.
It is a good Kiwi bench. I think it's well balanced and plenty of ability, and all of them can make an impact. That's the thing.
Somebody else is headed to the blood bin. Or is it Pongia once more? Cummings still not happy with him. This time he might be headed for some stitches. Not much of a spell for Joe Vangana. Feeling also we're going to see Robbie Paul out there for quite a spell in this test match at dummy half in the hooking position.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised, and he'll cause them a few problems also.
There's quick play the balls again that Huey was talking about. The Australians keen to maintain the pace, the rage.
Interesting to see, Graham. We haven't seen Tony Iro looping onto the ball yet. Maybe they're just saving him for a while, or he's feeling his way into the game in attack. He's working hard in defence.
Sailor. Right in centre field on the 40.
Hands clear. No hands through the cannon.
Daly. Ferner changing the angle. With support inside. They all fell for it. It's first blood to Australia. I think Barnett is going to rue the fact that he didn't lead the support players. There was defence inside and out on the Gatorade replay.
Well, certainly a great try. Change of the angle there. That's what set the whole thing up. Daly just drifting across the field. Non-plus 2 New Zealand defenders. Left the hole, the gap down the middle of play there. But just have a look at this. He shifted the ball into 2 hands. That's what got the try. Put the ball in 2 hands. Wrong-footed all the defence. A great second row's try.
Just the old adage, Hugh, that you've got to come up with a man with the ball.
Exactly, every time. And as we see here, it was well done by Laurie Daly. Turned them back on the inside. The numbers were there. Just bad execution here by Steve Kearney. Unfortunate on this Rebel Sports profile. Back on the inside, Richie Barnett's got to learn to take the man with the ball. Don't look for the intercept. Take him out.
Ferner. Great run from him. Trying to get under there was Jones, but he couldn't turn him over. And Furner, the man, gets his 4th try in 1997. Girdler. Hammers this one right down the middle. Australia get away to this lead of 6 points to nothing. First time anybody really busted and got away with support inside and out.
Yeah, but I always go on about carrying the ball out in front of you, and that's what Furner did there. Once he made the break, he put the ball out in front of him. Non-plus Barnett. It was a very, very good try to the young second rower.
Hoppy.
All right, that's one now, clear.
Tackled by Brad Thorne, who asked during the week if we could send a cheerio to the Gambles and the Stewarts in Dunedin. Hope you're enjoying this Anzac Day test match. Young managed to hang on to that under the pressure of the tackle. No, he didn't in the end. So a mistake that might let the Australians back in immediately.
Well, they are the sort of errors when you're 30 metres out from your own guy line. It was a great tackle, that. Great tackle. But you make those mistakes 30 metres out, and really you've got to defend with all your might from now on.
Sailor beats one. Just outside the 20. Can't give him another chance at it. Makes life tough if you let them put on back-to-back tries.
Hey, come on, Stephen.
Gower. For Lazarus to put on a bit of a step. Got inside. Sideru. Gower. Tremendous pace out of dummy half. Langer. Sitting it up. He's got a double. This is a flying start now for Australia. Couple of mistakes, and a side as good as this will punish you on the Gatorade replay.
Yeah, well, bad tackle there from Jing Namu, that's what it was. But the power of the second row, a very good player, Furner. Missed the tackle out from there in his curtains.
Just got outside his man, put the hip down. Do never underestimate this man, who can certainly run with the ball. Celebrations all round in this Australian camp as they grab their second try.
Well, he received a good pass. That was the thing. His pass put him outside the man straight away, so it was a great effort from the pair of them, Langer and straight out to Furner.
It'll send the statisticians and historians searching for the books as far as somebody in the first test coming up with the opening 2 tries. Thorne goes to the bench. Girdler from out wide as Pongia finally gets back again. Will drag this one too far. But an impressive scoreline early. 10-0 Australia. Very similar, this match unfolding to the Junior Kiwis test earlier tonight, whereas the Australians got away to an impressive start.
Yeah, it is a similar start. I suppose now it's really up to the leaders in this New Zealand side to really calm everybody down. They're 10 points behind. They could be worse, actually, because the field position has been controlled by Australia better. But New Zealand's had stout defence. A couple of just really simple missed tackles have really put them behind the 8 ball.
Pongia out there. Nikau turned in a couple of tackles.
Wait.
Kearney. And
That's got to be a penalty.
this time the penalty will come.
Hey, Stephen.
And he remembered what the rule was that time.
Adamson involved in the tackle and knocked the ball down with 2 men involved. Stephen Kearney reminded him of it. Well, Huey, how about a couple of minor adjustments here to make things right?
Well, what they need to do, firstly in that set of 6 leading up to that try, I lost count after 5 missed tackles. That is a concern. I think the pace of the game is starting to show. But what New Zealand are doing at the moment, they're playing too orthodox. They're just playing straight up and down football. I know they want to go forward, but let's change something. It's not working for us at the moment. Let's get young Robbie Paul on here and let's see what he can do.
Nikia showed it outside.
I think that's a pretty good point Huey's just made, that they are a little bit orthodox at the moment. The first 10 minutes or so of the game, they were standing up, offloading in the tackle, and that's where they were causing the problems. Gone into their shell just a little bit. That kid, Robbie Paul, I think he's one of the world's great players.
Iro.
And his brother's probably better, Henry.
Namu. They try and settle on a bomb for Peachy.
He took the man out.
Good call from the referee. Ball had not come down on the scene. And that is against the new set of rules to try and make any play on the fullback.
Yeah, it was a well-weighted kick into the danger zone here. Quinton Pongia charging through.
Stacey Jones, in fact, who tried to climb above him.
But Quinton was the one getting all the yapping from the referee, unfortunately. I don't know what he must have done.
Spell for Grant Young. They continue on. Strong tackle from Joe Bunganar and Iro.
I think that's what they need now. A couple of real big hits, try and force an error and set the Australians back on their heels. At the moment, they're too free running.
Girdler confidently back on the inside. Smith for Daly. Lazarus.
Come on, here.
Confident, this Australian team, full of the New South Welshmen from the Tri-Series opener. This is where they did the damage against Queensland. They might do some more damage now against New Zealand. Sailor to put it down right under the posts. This is more than just a flyer now. The Australians really on fire. Gatorade replay.
The Gatorade replay shows us what happens if you run at a gap. That's exactly what happened there. Matt Adamson ran straight through that gap. A change of angle from Wendell Sailor. He's too big and strong from that far out. The Kiwis are right back on the heels now.
One more look at it as they just climb into this gap. Timu caught in no man's land along with Halligan. They had 2 and 3 men marking up outside, and Sailor just wrong-footed the cover. Nobody else inside there. A free run to between the posts. Girdler to throw this one over from right in front. You want to talk about head starts in any code at all. And Timu, who got caught on the one man instead of letting the cover on the inside pick him up.
One of the big things that is happening at the moment with the Australian team, the inside passes are all doing a little bit with the ball, and they are holding up the defence just for a moment. They're wrong-footing the defence.
That's one, up and clear. Up and clear. Here we go.
Timu. Barnett it is into the line.
He's down 2. On the line.
Right on the 20. Trying to search for something, but they've got to dig down deep from their own end. Nikiau can't get away. He loses it out the back.
Play on.
Horror start as far as mistakes are concerned. Daly.
And one, up and clear.
This is turning into a nightmare first 40. Adamson.
2. Stand clear, Cutler. Stand clear. No hands. No hands.
They can go either way. They settle down with Rodney Howe, who pushes back a great ball for Gower, for Langer. Langer cleverly to the end goal. It's green and goal. The race is won by Barnett. There was plenty coming, and he did well, Richie Barnett, to get across. That is a real rescue.
He certainly did well there, because this had 4 points written all over it. Another well-weighted kick from Alfie Langer. New Zealand's under all sorts of pressure at the moment. They are very much so in trouble.
Prepared to gamble, not even going down to the full set of 6. Rebel Sports profile of Richie Barnett. And a young man who Was looking for some more space at the back, but for the present time, he's had to salvage everything.
Well, they're running at him from right, left and centre, and so he's chasing all over the park. That's what he has to do at the moment.
Gower. Langer. Daly. Extra wide. Girdler to the outside of his man. Just dragged down by Jones. This is relentless. All being played at the one end of the field. Possession, territory, absolute domination at present. Big break needed. Langer stepping inside. Stays outside. Eddinghausen pushes it. Adamson. One-hander up. Here's trouble. Sailor's got a double. Have a think about this. They tried to mark up. They're getting punished for their mistakes at their own end. But this side is hot. On fire. The passes are sticking. They're standing and unloading, full of confidence.
Well, the Gatorade replay shows what happens when you stand in the tackle, keep the play alive. Alfie Lang, he had a ton of room then. Eddinghausen just popping the ball back. Adamson, hasn't he made an impact since he's been on the field? A great one-handed pass back there. And once again, unmarked out there. A great try for Wendell Sailor. They're running hot, the Aussies.
It's a horror, Huey.
Well, it's all out the left-hand side. Unfortunately, John Timu, Darryl Halligan are probably used to the umbrella defence, getting used to the slide defence. I think they're getting caught out each time. But here, Tony Ora should have been moving up. Here he's standing. He should have been moving forward and probably cut down Matt Adamson early. Once again, Adamson with a good ball around the back. Wendell Sailor. Well, this guy, you can't stop that close to the line.
Girdler. Couple of kicks have gone astray. Scoreline could have been so much more. Jones turning it around for Bunganar. It's a question we've got to ask is, inside the last four, somebody's got to find something before the break. Get on the board. Oh, what a hit! Rodney Howe absolutely hammered Kearney.
Absolutely hammered him all right. There was a sensational hit from Rodney Howe, who is the form front row in the competition. Bang! Crash! Cop this, Steve. That's a big, don't argue.
That's what you call a full stop.
Just about rewound his clock, that one.
Tongia.
Stand clear, that's one, move. That's good.
But I think New Zealand is not going to get anywhere while they are one out. Just like that, they can't afford to waste too many tackles at all. They've got to use the ball wide as quickly as possible. I know go forward's the catch cry, but they've got to back one another up and use the ball and stand in the tackles as Australia are doing.
They've been stung extra bad. They've still got to dig deep. Wiki does that as he takes them to 15 metres away. Iro. Back on the inside. Barnett staying in the line.
Hell! Last! Make it!
Make it the last as they take it to the posts. Some real soccer skill from Lazarus.
Actually, he's having a pretty good game, Lazarus. He's come up with a couple of side steps. Didn't know he had that sort of thing in him. Now his soccer skills also becoming evident. New Zealand now has to try and force an error down this end of the park.
It's going to force enormous pressure on Frank Endicott at half-time.
Well, he's got to look at his bench. That's what he's got to do and decide. Does he go with a positive move of replacing 2 or 3 players, just trying something else, see what might happen? You know, it's a tough time for a coach when this sort of thing has happened at this level of game.
Langer turning Barnett around. This ANZAC Day Test match in the first 40, which has been a massive Aussie assault. Gets away from Halligan. He has to go back for it. And they trap him inside the 20. Round about 90 seconds to go. Some 80 metres down the other end.
Some of the New Zealand players looking very, very tired. They've had to do a lot of tackling at their own end of the field under pressure. They are looking very tired.
Kearney tries to pick up those legs. And a quick play of the ball for Eru. Nikau. Dummies inside to Iro, stays outside to Timu. Smashing tackle from Ettinghausen. They are well and truly on their game. Barnett cannot get away from Howe, and he's finally finished off over the top by Lazarus. Last tackle. Namu looking for the sideline. Peachy put down by Nagus. He gives the Kiwis a hand.
Move out, move out.
Now Cummings will call Kearney over and warn him to keep him down.
Come here.
Well, Steve Kearney's a bit frustrated at the moment. He's coming with a big shot here. Don't want to be doing that too often in the second half, or he might be getting an early bath.
Down to the 50, and a countdown of the final few seconds that have been a hammering so far. Langer dives for it, shuffles it off to Daly. We're not done with yet. He puts it up out to Halligan's wing. They're all on the chase. Halligan tidies up. Dramatic first 40 of this historic Anzac Day Test match. First one, the Kiwis and Australia in Super League. Big problems. Major headaches to be turned around at the break. Stay with us. Back with more from the Sydney Football Stadium. 20-0 Australia after this. Remarkable.
Most common thing that's said at half-time is just forget that half. Let's get out and do it now. All football sides say it at this stage of the game. Just forget that half, but it's all right forgetting it. It's always in the back of your mind, and you've got that little bit of uncertainty. They've got to be as positive as they possibly can and come up with first points.
Is this a take two, I wonder? Earlier tonight, the junior Kiwis were down 16-0 at half-time. They came back to win it 17-16. Maybe the seniors could have listened into the juniors.
And out of there, hands out.
Right on the 20 for Australia to bring it away. Rodney Howe, along with Lazarus, they've dominated the middle.
They have dominated the middle. Lazarus in particular, I don't think I've seen him step around as much as he's doing out there tonight. Really showing some fleet of foot.
Adamson.
I reckon he's had a huge impact since he's been on the field.
Got shortened up by Tongia. And Langer to kick away this time, one of the few times they haven't gotten it away from Barnett. Big chase down on him. Off for Halligan to take on Saylor. Now Saylor could nearly have been pinched for trying to drag him out towards the sideline. Early penalty from the referee. Stuart Cummings to certainly help the Kiwis go downtown. And a rare visit towards the opposition 20.
Well, I think they've really got to lift the tempo of the game while they've got the ball, New Zealand. They've really got to try and put the Australian defence under some sort of pressure.
Vangana.
Now look at me and make it 10.
Just about the entire Kiwi team lined up to the right. Tongia.
Come on, make it.
Young to start the second half from the bench. Kearney. They continue on the same way as they all fold back to the left now. Something needed to ignite things. Wiki. Australia slide across in defence, and they stay on Timu. But they're inside the 10 with a sniff. Jones for Nikau, nice and wide. Now Tony Iro. Great ball up for Barnett. Needs to go wider. They had Australia stretched. Quick play of the ball. Last tackle. Short side, they stay for Pongia, who gets trapped with it.
Hand it over.
They had a couple of chances, not sure if the ball ended up going the right way.
Well, really, it's the first time we've seen the back row combining with Iro and Nikau combining, looking very dangerous. Barnett couldn't quite get that last pass away, but they certainly had Australia back on the back foot and looking probably more dangerous than they have at any stage.
Saylor, couple of tackles. The Australians bring it out to the 30.
Sid, make it.
Daly. Confidently, they go wide to Peachy into the line. Gone! There's something to turn it around. Stacey Jones, a little thief in the night here in Sydney. They're not smiling yet. But there's a little knock on the door. It's just a jar on the Gatorade replay.
Well, it is just a jar, but have a look at the New Zealand defence, all moving up on a line there, sliding across, nominating the man. Stacey Jones popped himself into the hole. That was a bit of a speculator, that pass, but Stacey got in between it. Scored a very, very well-needed try.
If you were hoping and dreaming, they're coming true straight after the break, Huey.
Oh, and as if we didn't need this right at this stage. This is the type of thing that can turn a game for New Zealand. What they've got to do now is get back down the other side of the field with the kick-off, put the pressure back on the Australians, don't let them back out. As we saw in that set of 6 prior, it only took 3 play the balls to make 40 or 50 metres. We've got to maintain the pressure on them. We've got to keep it down there.
Halligan, 29 from 41 in the Super League season at around 71%. The extra 2, vital every time now. And a coat of paint will do the trick. Unbelievable restart. I mean, from that dream beginning to an absolutely unbelievable situation.
Well, that was an absolute shocker. I don't know what was going through their minds there. Field position is something they have been lacking throughout the match. Went for the short kickoff, didn't work.
They were looking for open spaces there. Somebody's a little bit too fired up, and Australia will go down deep just when you wanted them pinned at the other end and on their heels. Make no mistake, the Australians will go in search of another one. Eddinghausen. Pongia with a swinging arm in the tackle. The Australians were complaining about it. Cummings with a penalty. Right near the post that'll give them an easy shot at 2. Daly keen to go on with it. Couldn't get them all online in the first 40. From just about in front. And that will do for the Australians to stretch it some more.
But he's got the job and he's got the responsibility, and everyone's looking to him to come up with the answers.
Tough to gamble so far behind. But there's a couple of aces there sitting there in the shape of Robbie Paul, Tia Rapati.
Yeah, well, I'd certainly get Robbie Paul on there real pronto.
Eru.
I mean, even if we put Rapati anywhere at all, just to try and break things up, or like a combination of maybe Robbie Paul and Tia Rapati at half and 5'8".
Nikau.
Just put them on and see what's going to happen, because New Zealand has got to get back with some points on the board quickly.
Tried hard throughout this one. Now Iro standing. Good ball up. Kearney, they get away. Again, they get together. Every time they have, they've been dangerous since half-time. Now another penalty. Robbie Paul gets that call to warm up and go sideline as the Kiwis will get a terrific opportunity. Namu to put it just outside the 20. Vangana. Only 15 away. Pongia, support from Iro.
Get off there, get out of there, get out of there.
Eru for Namu to take it back. Jones, right up the middle, stood for support. Just couldn't find Nikau or Barnett, who were trailing.
Stand up, stand up, stand up and play the ball.
Yeah, Cummings with a very tough call on Jones.
Stand up and play the ball.
Telling the halfback to stand up and play it. He had Peachy holding him down, trying to drag him forward.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Could have gone either way easily.
I'd say most Australian referees would have given that as a penalty to New Zealand, but, I mean, playing international football, you've got to adapt to the referee's interpretation. Tough call on the Kiwis, but they've got to counter that now with some crushing defence. Try and force an error.
No doubt, Huey, that they've had them stretched, just can't finish off.
They certainly have, Graham, and one thing we have seen, obviously, Robbie Paul gone on. Maybe we've put a lot of pressure on him, but we are looking for something to happen for us. Namu haven't been taken back onto the bench. That change was made, obviously, after the kick was made by Namu. Went out on the full. Frank moved forward, had a few words to Robbie. and the change is made.
Back for Darren Smith. Namu was having some defensive problems. Now more penalties.
Get your hands out of there. Just stand clear, there's no doubt. Come on. You know what the score is.
Cummings reminding the Kiwis just to stay out of it. Daly goes to the sideline this time.
Stand up, stand away.
Only 35 metres out, directly in front. Adamson. Crowd setting up a chant for the Australians, screaming for some more. Screaming for a fifth try. Rodney Howe.
That's one, get out of there.
This is vital. They must hold Langer. Lazarus. Takes it inside the 10. Everything they've touched has turned to goal. Gower. Ball was stolen one-on-one. That's a terrific effort from Iro.
A great effort from Iro. That's what was required. Good, don't argue there also from Steve Kearney. These forwards have got to dig in here. They've come up with a bonus penalty.
They're doing the same. Just
got to take everything that they get. But they can't afford to sit back. A lot of them on their haunches at the moment.
Kearney got rid of Adamson. And Daly was not up quick enough off the man. And gave him a real facial.
Certainly did. Didn't like the look of it.
We've had 3 penalties in just under 90 seconds. Pongia with a great break. This game really coming to life. Another try required by the Kiwis to really open it up. Quick hands for Jones. Now Iro, who's been a problem since the break. Robbie Paul wrestles with Daly.
Stand clear.
The pace has been extreme. Nikau forced backwards in the tackle. And the pace, if anything, has forced some mistakes. Jones stepping and dancing his way up the middle. And still over the top for Timu. Did well just to die in the tackle. Couldn't run behind Halligan.
Great piece of work from Jones.
Now they spin. Nikau. Kearney over the top. Great hands. Tacked on with a chance. Cummings set it forward. Just needed one more good touch and Hoppy was away.
Well, certainly they created the numbers out there. Touch and go whether this was forward or what he's actually ruled. That looked okay.
Well, the momentum of the man who passed the ball stayed in front of it. So he's got it wrong.
Stay in. With the flag.
They all got up looking at him.
New Zealand starting to throw the ball around now, though. Tony Iro certainly seems to have lifted his game in the second half, Huey.
Well, that's what he needs to do. We need to see a lot more of Tony because he's very good in broken play. Running across field, turning guys back on the inside. He plays a high-risk game, and obviously that comes with a lot of problems, but still he can turn a game on its head.
Makes life tough with such a scoreline, though. They can ill afford to go to sleep at any stage. They have to play the perfect second 40. Saylor getting rid of some tackles. Standing, finally finished off by Robbie Paul. Skill all over the paddock for the Australians. Daly, that ball travelled about 30 metres out to him. And Girdler has been a little bit of a handful for the centres. Great passing from the Australians. Look at this, Daly. Was that tap forward? Eddinghausen. In for Saylor, finally stolen. Dramatic stuff here. Great skill.
Absolutely wonderful skill. But they're playing with confidence. That's the thing about a game of rugby league. When you've got confidence on your side, everything else seems to come with it, including luck.
Tit for tat as the Kiwis go wide. Iro. Now for Wiki. He floats it for Kearney. And Kearney runs over the top of Furner. And an extra quick play of the ball for Sideru, who needs support. There's none coming. He got out of there quickly. Pongia. Nikau. Confidently. Jones. Jones. Away from Peachy. The fullback will match it with pace. Now that's offside. Must be New Zealand's ball. Now Cummings holds it up.
We get that fella sorted out up there, okay? Zero tackle when he starts.
Now he's got an Australian in trouble in back play. Nowhere near the play. Why would he hold it up?
This guy is having an absolute blinder. He's decided that maybe the halves haven't been going all that good. I'm going to take them on my own. A great set of pace there. He popped the ball back inside. Just have a look what happens.
Chance here. Barnett thought Nagus was going to play it. He should have realised it was a clean ball. It comes away. They mess it up on the first. Breakdown in communications. They let him off the hook. Ferner. But they have certainly come out a lot more determined to get the business done. Nagus. Adamson. Big tackle on the inside from Bunganar. Langer. Daly. Mistake from the Australians, but it's covered up by Saylor. So they've put some pressure on them at their own end. And Daly will try and go deep. Barnett with a bit of space. Saylor's down there. Takes him on wide. And nearly got away. Halligan rushes in. Out for Hoppy. With that half-time scoreline, it has forced New Zealand to keep pushing the passing, but it's opening it up for some spectacular play.
It certainly is. Maybe Australia's just eased back a little bit. The intensity that they were applying in the first 40 minutes was unbelievable.
Off the knees upon him, and it's sat back up for him.
And that's the sort of play that New Zealand's needed.
Robbie Paul from dummy half.
Just something dropping their way could turn things in favour of the black and whites.
Good short ball for Kearney. It's Jones again. Now Timu needs to go wide. Halligan and Saylor. Halligan's got it. I tell you, look out. Australia will start taking a big peep over their shoulder.
Well, the Gatorade replay shows us a switch and play there. Good strong run, but have a look at this. Just pins his ears back, goes. Geez, he's causing some problems out there today. A great pass out to Timu. They could have ruined it from there, and this try took some scoring. Straight out of Saylor's tackle. Great try, Halligan.
I tell you what, Huey, there was something special in that Gatorade at half-time.
Yeah, I think everything was in that container. But this is good work. Young Stacey Jones, he's done it time and time again. I thought he could have given it here to young Robbie Paul. He would have been under the post, but he kept it alive. New Zealand kept it alive, and Daryl Halligan does exceptionally well here. There's a lot of work to do. Once he gets the ball, he has to angle himself down low because Wendell Saylor's not the easiest player to get down. Get past. As he comes through, we see him start angling down, forcing his way through the line. Good work, Daryl Halligan. Well played.
Great concentration. Great style. And you've got a great goal. Oh, take a bow. Right down the middle. Well, he had a chance on the inside. He thought there was still more space out.
Yeah, well, Nickau backed him up on the inside, and that put a lot of pressure on the Australian defence. I think Nickau did a great job off the ball. Really took a little bit of pressure off Halligan, but it was a fine try, well taken.
Nickau flying in. Huey, this back row has come to life since the break as well.
And it's something we've wanted to see from this back row right from the start. But now that they're up and running, we want to see more of it. We need to see them keep going forward. This defence is actually going forward from Australia. We need to start pushing them backwards. And it starts with young Tawira Nickau. Let's get it right.
Nickau right on halfway makes another tackle. So Homono out there. Thorne's back out there. He's been forced to go to his bench himself, Lang, and they're under pressure for the first time tonight. Hoppy, they need another one. Another one, and you're going to see a tremendous test of concentration. Barnett, they're backing themselves. Offloading. Hoppy.
Offloading, standing up, that's the thing, and the tackles.
Hoppy gets it out past the 30. And runs straight into Solomon Homono.
Well, they got a bonus 20 metres there just from backing one another.
Iro to Timu. Takes on Eddinghausen. Saylor does the job in the end and steals the ball.
Tackle's down, no. Tackle's on the floor. He's down on the floor, he's pulling it out.
Few things turning their way to make things interesting, and all of a sudden a lot of people around this stadium starting to wonder.
Yeah, well, New Zealand starting to stand in the tackles, support one another, keep the ball alive, as they were doing in the first 10 minutes of the game, and they're causing Australia problems.
Midway through the second 40. You can start thinking about it back home just a little, about one of the great escapes. Tongia, he's full of running as well. 3 required in the tackle on him. Kearney. Chant of Kiwi from supporters up around this stadium. Iro, run around with Jones. Pushed out the back. Barnett needs to recover. They lose a bit of territory. Halligan. Jones, little chip. Peachy did well to read it and come up. But they're trying something.
They are trying something, and every time they come up with a little chip or something like that, a little bit of pressure, they put Australia under pressure because they haven't had time to get themselves organised in attack.
Daly. The Australian skipper knows that he needs something, needs to lift his team, tries to do it. Hamono down a short side, tries to clear away from 4 of them. Langer. Daly. Ferner. Scored the early double to put them back on their heels, New Zealand. Langer. Nobody home up the middle. It'll be chip and chase time. Plenty of Australians who wants it. That's always the case when you're trying to come from behind. And against these guys, it means in the second 40 you can't go to sleep at any time.
Big hole down the middle of the ruck there. Alfie Langer, have a look at that kick. I mean, a lot of people think that sort of thing's easy. It's absolutely magical to do, and a great try.
Gatorade replay will show that he kicks to set things going in the opposite direction. Barnett couldn't do anything about it. That penalty goal after half-time might be something that just gave the Australians that extra breathing space. It is still a long road back. Young. Right on the 20. Tongia. Hormono, ball and all, drags him down. Young again.
Well, he'd be keen to get out there and do plenty of work because he wouldn't have liked sitting on the bench for the length of time he has done. But, gee whiz, this Stacey Jones, he's had a good game. Young, just again, how many times is he going to get tackled in this 6?
Barnett.
Offloads the ball well there.
They're all keen. They're all trying to get there and support each other. Jones. Wiki.
This Australian defence has been outstanding. Hasn't been put to test quite often enough.
Off Australia, maybe. Might be a bonus.
Kiwi ball.
It will be a Kiwi feed.
Well, at this stage of the game, we've got 15 minutes to go. You've got to go into touch mode, really, if you want to try and catch up or give yourself a chance of winning. You can't play orthodox football. It's too late now. You just got to go for the doctor. Remember what you used to do, playing touch in the backyard. That's the only way you can get out of it.
Timu to the bench, and Rapati will get about 15 minutes or so out there. Robbie Paul for Barnett. Thought better of trying to push it back on the inside. Robbie Paul. From a standing start, got rid of Eddinghausen. Halligan.
And what about the step on Robbie Paul?
Sets it up, stays involved, now sends it out for Rapati. Jones. Switch. Kearney. Kearney. Trying to get over the top of Ferner. Quick play of the ball for Eru. Nikau. Showing that they can produce the goods to find some tries. Certainly have created some chances. 5 metres out and last tackle. Rapati Really needs to get it wide. That's just the frustration of pushing things and hurrying.
Yeah, lack of organisation there. Wrong players calling for the ball. Let Australia well off the hook. But I mean, at least they look dangerous when they are shifting the ball around. That was a pretty ordinary kick there from Tara Party.
Wait.
40 out from their own line, Australia. A 16-point lead. Homono. Great steadier they got from Langer to set up that try moments ago for Darren Smith. Just when the ship was starting to rock a little, list a little. Tyron Smith to go from the sideline to get involved. Gower pushed it back for Daly, now Lazarus. And Daly to put the foot down. Girdler gets involved. Quick hands, great hands, Peachy. Homono for Peachy. Still they keep it alive. Last tackle, the Kiwis on the rack. Langer. Sitting it up for Furner. Back for Smith. He kicks ahead. Hoppy might have some trouble getting out of there. That's how cleverly they do it. They're going to get even more possession.
Well, Ryan Girdler's having an absolute blinder out there today. This was a well-weighted kick. All the Australian players have seemed to have shifted up a gear again. Great chase there from Girdler. He's had a good game. Plenty of trouble when he's carrying the ball in his hands, and also his defence has been outstanding.
Hard to find a real weakness in this Australian lineup tonight as Halligan gets us back down towards the 50. Thorne to wind himself up. Just outside the 20.
Stand up.
It is just so difficult to defend against them when they've just got one set of 6. Try another one. Daly for Peachy, for Eddinghausen. Likewise, Gower. Gower sights the gap. Can he get it down? You bet. On debut, he's going to grab one. You can think about defence being poor, but on the Gatorade replay, just watch the passes, the confidence, the skill, the backing up.
Well, they're all running at holes. They're changing angles when required, calling for the ball, positioning one another in space, always giving it to someone who's got a chance of doing something. And I think the Australian selectors can take a bow because they picked a team on form and the team's done the job for them.
Plenty of young men like Peachy already looking, holding the ball out front. Eddinghausen, the experienced man. Heard the call. Gower. Just watch the step. Watch the balance, the way he holds the ball. Got inside. Great step away from Pongia. Young man started his career at 5'8" at halfback. Copped a high shot from Rapati, and even under that heat, still got it down. Girdler. Heading down towards the last 10. In off will do. It is Australia's night in a big way here at the stadium. Thought for just a fleeting moment after half-time they were back in a big way. They looked the goods. But Australia, heads down, have found a couple of tries again. 6 tries to 2. Comprehensive at the moment. Inside that last 10. Barnett.
Make it.
You just can't give a good side such a head start. Bit of a wrestle for the play of the ball. Green's still there. Penalty probably should have come for the Kiwis. Rapati might still find himself in trouble with that high shot.
I think we're going to hear more about it for sure.
Looked as though Gower might have disappeared with a broken nose.
Stand away.
Jones.
Inside. Go on.
Out to the sideline. Sailor thinks better of it. He's fine. He's happy. Sideline. Grabbing a try on debut. Nearly 24,000 here tonight to see the Australians on fire. making life difficult.
And you do have to wonder how it's going to affect the Warriors in particular on Sunday against the Cowboys side. That's definitely going to be fired up after watching this.
Extra hard call to back up Sunday. Don't miss it as the Warriors try and get back on track. Just under 8.5 minutes to try and find something. With that respect again back into the scoreline, Huey.
Exactly, Graham. And as we saw there, we're going too high in these tackles. We need to keep them down, get up underneath the ball. But for everything that we've said about the Kiwis, I've got to say Australia, they can stand up and take a bow. They've played sensational football tonight. They came into this game a little bit under pressure. They say that they're inexperienced, but they've really stood up and were counted tonight. Congratulations, Australia.
And again for Langer. Just like a yo-yo. The string for Langer and Daly tonight has been remarkable. Still one more tackle for Green to try and find some runners. O'Neill just out there with his first touch, can't keep it alive.
Well, great play from Australia. And as Huey said, I think that for the sceptics who were saying that now Bob Fulton's not coaching Australia, we're not going to see this enterprising style of play anymore. But with Johnny Lang, he's just showed that he gives the players a bit of a plan and then just lets them go to it. And he's picked the form players and they're able to carry out what they're really capable of.
Pongia has tried extra hard. Pretty good second half from him. Wiki. Huey, you can reach out and touch these guys. I mean, the pace of this has just been amazing.
And it's a wonder that they're still going at this speed right even now. But Ruben Wiki is another player we haven't seen enough of tonight. Tony Iro should have been probably out a little bit wider, or the ball should have been pushed a little bit wider to pick up the likes of Ruben Wiki, who's very strong coming in on the angle.
Here's a chance. Barnett away from one. Dummies to Nikau. Goes to open spaces and numbers. Now they'll get one. Robbie Paul. It's all coming too late, but this second half has been full of some spectacular play.
It certainly has. The Gatorade replay will show us. Good wide pass to start there. A tricky little kick, an Alfie Langer type kick. Plenty of pressure on the Australians there. Pressure that meant that we got the ball again. But have a look at this run. It was absolutely fine dummy there from Barnett. Going across to the right-hand side of the park. Robbie Paul playing his first game out in this Super League arena, and he's come up with a bripper.
Great skill. What about this second half from Jones?
Well, I think Jones has been one of the best players on the field, to tell the truth, in the second 40. Maybe a bit of quiet in the first half, but let down by his teammates probably. But, geez, had a good second half without any doubt. But this kid here, he's the future.
Season. Halligan can't get it to come round from out wide. They try the short kickoff.
I think the Kiwi side was very well prepared. They were confident coming into the game. They trained very well. And maybe the old saying, if you train too well, you don't play too well, came into it. I don't know. But they looked to me ready. They had a great smell about them last night. But they have just been blasted off the park out here tonight by a great Australian side coming out with a great performance.
Don't know that anybody could have matched up against this Australian lineup tonight. Thorne. One thing that we probably didn't talk about enough was the fact that going into this one, in the Tri-Series, it was the Australians showing with their cohesion amongst so many New South Walesmen that had the advantage of the hit-out in the Tri-Series.
Yeah, well, that's right. I think the Tri-Series was ideal preparation. Gee, there wasn't a lot of look in that pass, really. Could have come up with another try for Australia. But certainly Australia had the advantage going into this Test match because of the Tri-Series. Well, that was fair enough to me. I think it's a tough call on Australia.
Stacey Jones. Really has carved Australia up in the second half, and that's saying something with a scoreline of a 22-point spread in favour of the Aussies.
You know, it's been the little men on both sides, Jones, Langer, both showing that they're very capable of kicking, running, passing, just controlling the game, as good halfbacks do.
Iro, back for Jones. Robbie Paul with a step. Amazing that the total tackles can come up so even in this one. Kearney back on the inside. Pace just slowing in the final, inside the final 5 minutes. The Australians maintain a strong line as they rush up. Iro dummies, kicks ahead, but the communications just weren't so right. Halligan was trying to get there.
Well, that was a silly kick from Tony Iro. But I suppose there's been a lot of silly things happen out there tonight by the men in black and white, unfortunately.
Gain some territory. The Australians to come up with the scrum feed.
I mean, we have seen it a lot in the past. We think this is the time, this is the night, this is the team. And the Australians rise to the occasion better than what we do.
O'Neill back on the inside, just put down by Girdler on the fingertips, couldn't drag it back in. Kiwis might get a shot at the last scoring of this test match.
Yeah, good run here from O'Neill. Wasn't able to be controlled, but I mean, Australia called off their training session last night, and I said to a couple of people down here at the park, I felt it was a good move by Australia because, I mean, one more training session is not going to make any difference. They have played together in the tri-series.
Here's a chance. Jones deserves one. He'll sit it up for Hoppy. Brilliant second half from this little halfback. Gatorade replay. Nikau gives him a head start.
But he gave him a head start all right. Jones took the winger out of play, ran on the angle. Hoppy, being the experienced player he is, popped up on the inside and came up with a try. Too little, too late, unfortunately. But a good bit of enterprise. Great work from Nikau, though. Just gave Jones that extra bit of space. He held the ball in front of him to start. A one-handed flick round the corner. Hoppy changes the angle and a good winger's try.
Look out for another short kickoff, too. Grab the extra two. Now they're set for a restart. Can they climb? Barnett's after it. He grabs it.
Come on, clear it. Come on.
Iro floating. Down towards the last 30 seconds. Jones going inside for the skipper, Kearney. And Hamono tried to really finish him off. Iro over the top. Harlem Globetrotters here at the stadium as Rapati finishes up right on the 20. Maybe last throw of the dice. Here it is, the countdown. Wiki must get rid of it. Langer finishes up with it, and that will be it. Super League test. First one between Australia and New Zealand, and it is Australia in a big way. They set it up with a dramatic assault on the first 40 minutes, which virtually blew the test apart. They grabbed 6 tries to 4. Spectacular player time from the Kiwis, who won the second half, if you like, 22 points to 18. But it was much too little and too late as the favourites got away to a big break.